Hey, so welcome back. I'm glad you came back to see me today. Um, Last time we talked about your stressors in school and how you were dealing with that. How's everything going?
It's going fairly well. I'm glad to be on spring break, so
That must be
that's a
nice.
plus. Yes, it's still challenging. Say that, but I'm taking it one day at a time.
That's awesome. That's a good way to approach it. Last time we talked, you said that it was hard balancing school and your professors and just having you time and being able to really take care of yourself. Can you tell me maybe a little bit about how well you're doing in that area?
Well, as I told you last time, it's just hard to find that balance of taking care of myself and find that personal downtime because I'm running from 8 a.m. the clinic until 11 p.m. at night, and I'm working on clinic work and dealing with schoolwork as well on top of that. So I'm trying to find a time where I can just relax and take a break, but it's hard. It's very hard. And as far as my professors, things are getting a little bit better. We had an incident in the clinic this week where one of my fellow classmates had gotten in trouble about a client file, and it kind of came back on not only her but the whole class, and so we kind of got reprimanded for that. But it's things are getting better, but it's still very stressful, and I'm ready for the semester to be over with.
Wow, it seems like it's been a tough week.
Yes.
It seems too though that you found the optimistic side of things. You're choosing to look at the positive aspects of things rather than the negative. You're sort of persevering through some of those obstacles.
I am. I definitely am, and I'm trying to find what makes me happy. Like, I have a boyfriend, and he also lives 15 minutes away, and so when I do have time, and whether it's on the weekends or late at night when I get through doing my work, I try to spend a little downtime with him. Find we like to do like for walks or whatever, and sometimes we like to both play the game. Sometimes we'll sit and do that, and just or read my Bible. I also try that calms me down. So I try to find little light and little avenues I can take just to relieve stress.
It's awesome that you have someone there that you can depend on that is that comfort for you. Um, a lot of people don't have that. It seems like you're really utilizing that time with him to, get that break and spend it with someone. That's
Yeah. I am having a little trouble though with my my roommate. She's also another fellow clinician, and she has different supervisors this semester, and I have different supervisors. So we're I'm trying to at night when we get back, I'm trying to wind down from the day. I'm done doing my work sometimes ahead of her, or I'm getting ready, get a shower, get to bed for the next day, and she's constantly like, "What do you think about this? Look at this! Like, come in here!" Like, and I don't want her to feel like she's bugging me, but at the same time, I'm just like, okay, I need to get what I need to get done and give you some rest for the next day. So that's kind of tough, and sometimes we're just on a different playing field. So I'm kind of getting adjusted to that as well.
and that can be hard. I could imagine. It sounds like to me that you want to be there for her, but at the same time, you want to make sure that your well-being is being in check and you're setting standards and boundaries for yourself. Have you had that conversation with her to say, hey, I love the fact that you want my opinion, but right now is the time that I want to unwind. Have you had that talk yet?
No, not per se. Well, not per se, not at all, actually. But I think that she knows because every time she'll be like, "I'm sorry," or "Can you just come here one more time?" or da da da, whatever. And so I feel like she can tell that, sometimes I'm just like, okay, enough is enough. But she's such a sweet girl. She has such a sweet heart. Like, I don't want to say no to her. I have a hard time saying no to things. And I feel like I'm such a yes man all the time. And at the same, I don't want to hurt people's feelings. I don't want to come across that way. But sometimes I'm just like, okay, well, sometimes you have to think about what's best for you. Sometimes I always think about, like, how others are feeling. Oh, let me make sure everybody else is okay. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, okay, what does Haley need? So I'm not this selfish person, but sometimes I'm just like, okay, do I need to become a little bit more, quote unquote, selfish? I don't know. So,
well, as long as you're taking care of yourself and you are putting yourself first as far as your mental health, and with those other things will fall into place. We want to have a healthy balance. But let me ask you this: do you think that sometimes your need to say yes, as you would say, has caused you to be a little bit more stressed in school because you don't want to disappoint people and your professors and teachers and classmates?
Yes, I would say that to a certain extent. I guess kind of looking back at it, not only am I trying, I was talking to my boyfriend the other day, not only am I trying to make sure I'm catering to him, to my friends, to my roommate, to my professors, like, it's just everybody but Haley. And so, I got in a situation the other weekend between, like, my boyfriend and my friends, and I try to tell them, whether it's them or him, complaining about how I don't have enough time for them, and I need to make more time, and I feel like everybody's pulling me in different directions. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, yes, I'm going to try to give ample amount of time for everybody, but I also have to make sure Haley's fueled up and has enough energy in order to give y'all that time. But yeah, I would say that I definitely see that being an issue.
Yeah, sometimes we don't realize how deep we are into stuff until we take a minute to pause and reflect, and we're like, wow, I've stretched myself so thin. Even me in my personal life, I get caught up in, the to-dos of life and my job and, my family and friends. Yes. And then, you have to add yourself on top of it, and you don't really think, wow, taking care of myself is, a part of life. And that's something that we sometimes neglect to do. I know I'm guilty of it as well. I get so wrapped up in my assignments and different things like that I forget, hey, I have to have Casey time too. So
yes, I can agree with that. It's just, I think it's going to take time, and it's going to take a conscious effort on my part to be like, okay, Haley, have you had your time today? Have you at least given yourself 5-10 minutes just to, relax? Like this, I told myself, since I'm on spring break, we have a vocal nodules project due, and for my professor, and another vocal paralysis project due, and treatment plans and progress reports, and on this, and 2 papers actually. And I said, well, you know what? I'm going to get it knocked out when I can. I'm going to take two days just to relax and do nothing. So hopefully I can stick to that.
I have high hopes for you.
Yeah.
Well, it like I said, it sounds like you have the issue and you are so well on your way to figuring out things that work best for you, and that's what it's all about. It's finding that healthy balance. I'm so glad that you're taking that initiative, like you said, mindfulness of going throughout your day and saying, hey, I'm stretching myself a little too thin. Let me backtrack a little bit and clear some things out. So this is a great time for you over spring break to sort of regain some focus, as you would say, of what's important to you, versus some things that can wait.
Well, yes, I definitely agree with that, and I feel like that's something that over time that will become, that will get better. And I want to ask you too that I also have a little difficulty also with when I have a set schedule with something. I don't like when a professor or fellow clinician or anybody comes and messes that up, because I'm so set, like, okay, this is my set schedule, and if anything comes in that disarray that, and I'm just, oh my gosh, like I freak out and everything has to be set. So I'm trying to be more with the flow, just go with the flow type of person. If something comes along where something has to be done or something extra, just go along with it. Don't freak out, just get it done. But me, I'm the type of person, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like, no, this did not just get added in. Like, I have to have a rigid, like, structured schedule, and anything that comes in after that.
Do you feel a sense of a loss of self-control, with your emotions and feelings when that comes about, when that happens?
Definitely. Definitely. I'm a very emotional person. So if anything comes along that is not how I planned it, I tend to cry about it. And that's truthful. That's being honest. And I'm just like, okay, you're about to be 24 years old and you're crying. But at the same time, that's how I cope with things. I'm more of I don't cope as far as like avoidance, or some people do passive coping. That's not my type of coping. I'm a talker. I like to vent and get it out and cry about it, and then after that's all done, I like to then deal with it. But
well, good thing you're in the right place to do it.
Yes, definitely.
But we all deal with different situations in different ways. We all have different focuses in our life and different triggers that get us emotional, and I could only assume that having something added to your schedule or something that you didn't foresee happening, gets you a little unhinged, especially when you have all these stressors in your life, and it just seems like one thing on top of another. So I can only imagine that it causes you to cry a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Get a little emotional. So tell me a little bit about your professors. How are you dealing with the stress of school and with your professors on top of that? Do you let them know any of the issues that are going on? Because you said you like to talk, so are you talking with your professors?
No. I talk to my roommate, and I'll vent about it to everybody else but them. But that's just because I want to remain in good standing with them, because with us having so many clients in the clinic from speech, language, fluency, whatever it may be, last semester was very difficult for me. I had a very tough supervisor, and this semester is a little better. But the supervisor I have this semester, her teaching method is, let me throw you out there and just swim. Okay? And there's other supervisors who are, okay, let me show you, so next time that you'll know, and let's, practice this, or just let me give you a little bit of guidance. But one supervisor, she's just like, no, I'm going to throw you out there. Either you swim or you sink. And so I have a client right now who is on an AAC device, and it's very difficult to not only worry about therapy, providing that, but also learning how to manage and learn this new technology. So it's very frustrating, and they expect us to research on top of this, on top of clinic, on top of staying in our classes, on top of, sometimes I think that they already think that we're out here in this profession, this field, and we're not. And that sometimes I want them to realize that. And I have a few good supervisors, but like I said, there are some that, and it's not just me, other classmates feel this as well, that they could be provide a little bit more instruction. And no, I don't go talk to them. I never feel as it has gotten that bad or to that point where I needed to have a sit down conversation with them. Actually, one girl did that a couple of weeks ago, and all of us were like, woohoo, yeah. I felt like she was speaking for all of us. But there may come a time where I have to sit in her office and tell her, and it may end up being the semester, but as of right now, I feel like it's not as to that extent.
Okay. I see that, this is something that's been weighing on you.
Definitely.
A little heavy. I just want you to know that when you talk to people, whether it's me or whether it's the other people in your life, the more you talk, the easier the issues might get.
But what do you do in a situation where you have a superior or someone who that you don't want to step on their toes, and you have to be a little tiptoe around, and you feel as if you can't talk to them? I mean,
well, do you feel like you've established a relationship with that superior?
no, because it's I feel as if it's difficult to. I feel like she's a very closed off, rigid person, and she's not very approachable. That's what I'm saying.
Okay. So that can be fearful.
Yes. Good.
Yeah. I definitely understand that. I had a similar situation, but mine was with work with a supervisor, and I was just terrified to let her know of anything that I was feeling, and anything that she threw out at me, I said yes to, because I was afraid to say no.
Yes.
And so I ended up carrying that weight, until one day I did have a conversation with her, and I was able to let her know how I was feeling, and she respected it, and we talked about it, and we went through some options of what could be done, and that set the foundation for our relationship. And so you never really know unless you try, kind of thing.
You're right.
But that's something that we can work on. Maybe that's something that me and you together, we can figure out a way that we can establish a relationship and build on that with some of your professors to make it a little bit easier for you, or at least comfortable.
Yes, I agree. Part of me is like, oh, well, the semester's not about to end, and next year I'll be in the school of medical rotation. I don't have to deal with them anymore and be on the clinical side. But at the same time, I know a lot of girls talk about how after they graduate and they get their placement where they're supposed to, where they're going to end up being, they usually 9 times out of 10 call their professor like, hey, I got this client that I'm not sure exactly what to do with it. Do you have any advice or help or something? So I definitely want to build that relationship with her, and I just don't know how to really approach it or to go about it, because as I said, she can be very intimidating.
I imagine so.
Yes. Very intimidating.
Well, I think we have some things that we can work on. Maybe one, for starters, we can work on setting boundaries. So maybe over the spring break, think of some ways that you can set boundaries with your roommate. If that means having a direct conversation, or maybe over a period of time, when she starts to come to you with her concerns and with her opinions, maybe instead of answering all her questions, maybe answering one, and then just start decreasing from there. And then maybe 2, while you're on spring break, you can think about some ways with your professor that you could maybe establish some good time to talk. Look at the syllabus and see when their free period is, and maybe go in one day, and if it starts out just with a hey, hello, how are you doing today, and work your way from there. So I would just encourage you over the spring break, while you have this time, to jot down on a piece of paper, or even think and meditate over some ways that you would like to go about this, so we can bring it back and talk about it on our next session.
Right. I definitely will. I will do that, and what time I do have. But I'm willing to try anything, at this point. And like I said, it's not bad per se, but it is something that has weighed heavily on me, and I would like to resolve. So I'm definitely willing to give that a try.
Well, that's great that you have that positive attitude and mindset that you want to make a change, because like I said, whether it's with this situation or with family members or friends, we definitely want to make healthy situations for our life and have healthy relationships with school and everything else. And I want to see you do well and be stress free.
Yes. That's the goal. It is, for sure.
Well, before we close up, is there anything else that you want to talk about today that's weighing on you, or any other issues about what we talked about, your assignment that you wanted to sort of go over or anything?
So just to be clear, just write down some ways that I can basically approach my supervisor or professor.
Yeah. Just over spring break, while you have that time and, you're relaxed, you're around a good support system, you're at home, right?
Yes.
Just think about some ways that maybe you can approach your professor, and sometimes to go in and maybe sit down and just say hey and hello, baby steps. It doesn't have to be anything big. And also think about how you would like to confront your roommate, whether it's over a period of time or whether it's immediately having a conversation. Think about how you would like that situation to play out to set those boundaries for yourself.
Yes, I agree. So I definitely will do that.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad that you came in to see me today. And if you need to follow up with me about anything, or if you have any other questions you want to ask me, feel free to contact me.
Thank you.
Thank you.